秦刚，职业外交官，第11任中国驻美大使，曾任外交部发言人、新闻司礼宾司司长、外交部副部长。秦刚于2021年7月赴美旅行，在中美关系极具挑战的时刻，接过驻美大使重任，打开局面。
在紧张的工作之余我会到这里，特别是在湖边来散步我会看到二战的纪念碑朝鲜战争纪念碑越南战争的纪念碑我就在思考在美国建国200多年的历史上，战争与和平一直是这个国家在面对和处理的一个问题在这240多年中其中只有20多年美国没有卷入战争，这是前总统卡特他的这个计算
乌克兰就没有出兵，
乌克兰没有出兵，但是他还是出武器那么乌克兰的危机之所以发展到今天，美国当然也是直接的当事方是吧？那么美国是世界上头号的强国是世界上最重要的国家之一。那么美国在处理战争与和平的问题上，他的态度他的立场他的行动会对世界的和平与人类的这个未来会产生重大而深远的影响。
Well, firstly, on Speaker Pelosi's visit to China's Taiwan region, the Chinese side has repeatedly expressed its firm and strong opposition to the U.S. side at various levels through different channels. The Speaker's visit is a major event upgrading the substantive relations between the U.S. and Taiwan, and sends a very wrong signal to Taiwan independent separatist forces. It is a serious violation of the One China principle and the provisions in the 3 Synod U.S. joint communiques.
She was
a serious blow.
Sir, I don't want to.
Foundation.
I don't want to.
Seriously infringes China's sovereignty and territorial integrity.
That is the position. Sir, let me jump in for 1 second. Forgive me, please.
The question of Taiwan is not about democracy. It's about China's national sovereignty and the territorial integrity. And it is the aspiration of the more than 1.4 billion Chinese people to achieve the reunification of China. And it is an unbending will of the whole Chinese nation to defend our national sovereignty and territorial integrity. Nancy Pelosi is not a person in the street. As you mentioned, he as a speaker, he's number 3 in the U.S. government. So her visit, in whatever form, at whatever time during his tenure, carries high political sensitivities, and it will result in the escalation of the tension across Taiwan Strait and escalation of the tension in the U.S.-China relations. So we firmly and strongly condemn and protest against it. And you mentioned that this is not the first time of the speaker's visit to China, to Taiwan. Let me say this: 25 years ago, Speaker Gingrich visited Taiwan. It was completely wrong. The Chinese side was firmly opposed to it from the start. The US side should draw lessons from it instead of making repeated mistakes. And one mistake cannot justify the following mistakes in the same nature. People should not confuse the question of Taiwan with the Ukrainian conflict. And on the question of Taiwan, it concerns China's core interest. And some people here in the United States, on the issue of Ukraine, they emphasized national sovereignty and territorial integrity. But why they do whatever they want to damage China's core interest, infringe China's national sovereignty, territorial integrity? This is a play of a double standards. So we firmly reject that. And China has every right to defend its sovereignty and territorial integrity. We are fully justified to do what we must. The current situation is created purely by the US side. So of course, it has to bear the responsibilities. To achieve the reunification, as I said earlier, is the firm and the strong will of the whole Chinese nation. So China's sovereignty cannot be infringed, and the Chinese people cannot be humiliated, and the reunification of China cannot be stopped. We said repeatedly in recent time that the PLA will not stay idle. And the duty of PLA, the China's military, is to defend China's sovereignty, territorial integrity.
Mr. Abbas?
So we will take whatever we can to respond and to protect, to safeguard our sovereignty, territorial integrity.
Send money and weapons to Russia, though?
Well, there's a disinformation about China providing military assistance to Russia. We reject that.
You won't
And
do
what,
so.
what
Beijing
China
will not?
what China is doing is send foods, medicine, sleeping bags, and baby formula, not weapons and ammunition to any party.
So are you saying, though, just so we're clear, are you saying Beijing will not provide financial support to Moscow to prolong this war?
China has normal trade, economic, financial, energy cooperations with Russia. As I said just now,
So it's not changing. You're not changing your relationship.
These are the normal business between two sovereign countries
You mentioned-
based on international laws. And
Would you be
we are in
concerned
the
if
opinion.
Russia amassed more than 150,000 troops at China's border?
Well, that's why we want
Well, just to be clear,
to have
because
a
China,
good,
you would
friendly, good neighborly relations with Russia.
But you would
And
recognize it's not good, friendly, neighborly relations
what
to
is
put
it?
150,000 troops on the border of a neighboring country and then to send those troops into that country.
Well,
In those circumstances, why can't you condemn this as an invasion?
well, don't be naive. Condemnation
It sounds naive to say that's not an invasion. It's
doesn't solve the problem.
100,000
I will be
troops in a country.
surprised if Russia will back down by condemnation. What is urgently
Will they back
needed?
down if your president asks Vladimir Putin to back down? Will your president ask Vladimir Putin to back down?
We have done so.
They
and we will
rely on you.
continue.